Yes, I was on this stage 3 years ago. I keep thinking like I was last year, but it was 3 years ago. So, and I'm really excited to be here, as you see on the picture. And I can say that I'm really excited to be here again today. And I'm very happy and honored to have me back. And I work at this lovely company called Hootsuite in Bucharest. And we're hiring anyway. And today we will talk a little about the web beyond non-modules. So there was a time when non-modules were used by Node apps. Pretty simple. Then why do we use them for web apps? And that's, of course, for historical reasons. And basically, JavaScript, at first, when it was a very young language, and it was designed in 10 days, and we know the story, it didn't have a module system. Then Node.js came alive like in 2009, and CommonJS it had a module system. It was called CommonJS, and because the web didn't have a module system, we kind of borrowed from Node, and bundles were born, and everything was great. But in the meantime, JavaScript has evolved, and it got better, and we have now ES modules for a while. Actually, almost all browsers supported it, except one, and I guess you know which one. And so we are kind of stuck. We have ES modules, but we can't really use them. We have to build separate bundles and so on. But there's this year. I'm not sure if you remember it well. It was kind of boring, but anyway, there were some events in this year. And you might recall something that Joe Biden became US president. That's one of them. Another one was we have a pandemic named after a beer. Something, never mind, anyway. And the thing that you need to remember, and it's the most important thing of the year, is that Microsoft announced Internet Explorer deprecation. Yeah. And it's actually officially happening in 2 days. So we have to celebrate these nights. OK, so that means that finally ES modules is unlocked. And that's great, because now we can go back to basics, right? Well, we can write the applications like we did in old times, so no bundles, no nothing. That's perfect, right? Almost, but if you write big applications, and we kind of all do that at this point, we kind of rely on other tools like TypeScript, and we don't know what to do with that. And we also might use a library that has a custom syntax, like React, Vue, Svelte, and others, and what to do with that. The good news is that we have a new wave of tools, and you might have heard of ESBuild, which basically transpiles and bundles JavaScript in the AES format, so we can use it in the browser. And a tool that used ESBuild and was on top of it, it was Snowpack that was used to have unbundled development, which was something really great at that time. And after that, we came with Vite, which is basically Snowpack, but with more features and better maintained. So the Snowpack team actually suggested to use Vite, and we're going to go with Vite for the rest of the talk. And let's see. Vite, does it check transpilation of TypeScript? Yes. Does it have custom syntax? Yes. It has so many more features. And what is really great is that it transpiles only what's changed. So normally when we used to have bundles, when you change one file, no matter how small, all the bundle had to be rebuilt, and it took like seconds or more to even have to see the change. Now, only the file that changes is transpiled, so it's really fast. And right now, in these days, it seems that we are in an interesting point. And what I mean by that is that Vite uses ES modules, as I said before, but it actually still needs node modules. And why is that? Is because in order to get your dependencies, when you import something, it actually looks into node modules. It takes them from node modules, it packs them in the ES format, and it serves to the browser. So it's great, but we still need to install with NPM. But you might think, what is if we didn't really need node modules anymore? And how could we do that? And luckily, again, there are new evolving patterns and tools and CDNs that evolve that actually make this easier for us. And these CDNs basically take NPM modules and pack them as ES modules, basically like Vite does. So if we have these, basically using an alias for Vite, we can say, OK, when you import React, basically don't go to node modules, just go to the CDN and get it from there. And the same with all the others. And that means that we no longer have to install npm install React. So it's pretty good. Still, even so, there are some blockers. And the good part when installing node modules is that you get type definitions. So for example, you might have them in the package, or you might install types, around types from whatever, and you have them. But now they're gone. And also, the most popular test runners are made for Node, so they cannot import ES modules. And there are some solutions for this that we might find. The first one for test runners would be to download the ES modules locally, like from the CDN, which is not really great, but it's doable. Another one, it's a very interesting and new option that we have, is to use HTTP imports from Node. Basically, it's how Dino does, if you're familiar with Dino. Dino actually can import from the URL. And Node also has this support for like a few weeks or something. And yeah, it's very experimental, and it doesn't really work. So we have to wait. So, and also, we can use like browser-compatible test runners, like they run in the browser. And I have a list on the slide that's going to be in the slides. Yeah. And for the type definitions, we also have some options. Some CDNs support a TypeScript definition header, which says that when I access React from ESM/SH, that's as you saw before, I get a HTTP header that specifies you can go here at this URL and you get the DTS file, so you can download it and use it locally. Or the IDE knows about this. For Dino, again, Dino is more mature, so Dino also has this for the IDEs. And in the future, maybe we also get this for Node or web imports. And the other option would be to download DTS files locally from the CDN. So none of this is ideal, but yeah, what can we do right now? Just wait for better times. But for now, we can do the second one. And how? That's we can download the DTS files, but I actually thought about this, and I searched for tools to do this, and I didn't find any that did it well. So what do we developers do when we are in a situation like that? Of course, we build our own. So I want to introduce you ESPM, which stands for ES Package Manager. Not a great name, but and it's a very rough tool that very much a proof of concept, and it has many issues. It's made just for a demo. And what it does is just gets from the CDN, you kind of use it as you do NPM, like ESPM add React, for example, and it will get the React types and download them locally. So yeah, this is an example project. You get it in the slides. And that's it for now, but what if we can foresee the future? And let's see how it would be, maybe. And the ideal package registry might be, from what we talked, like CDN-based, so it can be easily accessible. It can, it should have those types provided. They also do this right now. Those CDNs already do that. It would be ideal to publish easily, like Dino CDN does this. You kind of get when you push to Git, you get it published, and it would also have to use. It doesn't have to, but it helps to use import maps. And import maps is like Vite alias that we saw earlier, only that the advantage is it's browser native. So when the browser will all support this, we can import something, and it will go to the URL behind. And I'm kind of out of time, so I'll get very fast. Something I didn't touch. The other things that are in Node modules is Node tooling, like TypeScript and Vite and whatnot. And right now, we still have to install those. But what if we just have a tool that gets tools for Node, and we can install it from there? It's like a executable, so we don't have to install the whole package. And even better, what if we have like web tools installed? Because ESBuild is written in Go, and we have this trend now that all the new tools and cool tools are written in other languages like Rust and Go. And that would be nice. And once again, Node modules will be used by Node apps. And thank you. That's my talk.